James Gunn, you need a new Batman? I can be your Batman, James Gunn. Bruce Wayne never dies. Please hire me, I need a job. Hello, DC fans, or the very few that are still remaining and are not currently at war with each other. We got some more updates on this universe. It's only been a day since James Gunn has announced the news that there will be a new Superman reboot that will not involve Henry Cavill, as well as a promise to know what the future of the DC universe is going to look like by the start of the new year. Well, it looks like the news is not ending there, because James Gunn has now gone ahead and confirmed a new Batman will be coming to his DCU. So I'll be breaking down all the latest updates involved with the DC universe, but I need to hear from you guys right now. You're starting to settle in. Henry Cavill really is gone as Superman. We're getting what essentially feels like a rebooted universe. Are you on board? Do you see the bright future? Or are you just pissed? So one of the many lovely things about James Gunn being the head of the DC universe is that the man is very active on Twitter and is quick to answer fan questions about the DCU, and well, he's answered some interesting ones here. For one, we've got a fan that asked him, Mr. Gunn, do you still intend to make projects about minor characters in your new DC slate, or are you going to focus on the big household names before doing that? And he responded by saying, we'll be focusing on the most well-known and some lesser-known characters simultaneously. That is actually a pretty big question I have been wondering about James Gunn, because before he got hired as the head of the DC universe, the man made it very clear he liked giving lesser-known characters the spotlight, you know, characters that we saw in his The Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. James Gunn just has a fascination with making characters that seem like a joke, like Polka Dot Man, and trying to make them interesting and fun characters on the big screen. But now, as the big head honcho of the DC universe, I was like, you can't just focus on these lesser-known guys without the big star players there. And now it's just kind of nice to have that confirmation. Yeah, he's basically focusing on the big guns, and after him announcing he's gonna be rebooting Superman, writing the movie himself, focusing on a Superman in his younger years where he moves to Metropolis, becomes a reporter, that just seems like the start of many future big hitters coming to the big screen. Like I always have said for the longest time, the DC intro always made me laugh before seeing a DC movie, because it's like, how are you showing me your most popular characters when half of these guys haven't even had movies yet? And now James Gunn is making sure that DC intro is going to live up to its name, and those characters that you see at the start will eventually have their own movies. And well, one of the biggest ones we got to talk about is our boy Batman. A user asked James Gunn on Twitter saying, is Batman going to play a big part of the DCU going forward, or is he going to be kept for Matt Reeves only? Where James Gunn responded by saying he's a big part of the DCU, essentially then confirming to us we are going to get another new iteration of Batman. Now again, don't start panicking and getting all worried. It is still confirmed that Matt Reeves will be getting a sequel to Robert Pattinson's Batman. That is for sure still happening. Heck, even a couple of days ago, it was rumored that Robert Pattinson's Batman was going to be forced into the DCEU with characters like Aquaman, Shazam, and The Flash, where James Gunn quickly debunked that, and even Matt Reeves himself also was like, yeah, listen to James Gunn. So that means if James Gunn has already confirmed Matt Reeves' Batman universe is going to remain separate to his new rebooted timeline, and Batman is a big part of his new rebooted timeline, that means we getting a new Batman. So now let's try to digest this, because we also have to remember this is a vague little statement right here. All he said is he's going to be a big part of the DCU. So for all we know, he could have a Batman that's dead in his universe, and that still could mean his Batman would play a big part in that world. If Batman's dead, he could have a big impact on it. So just speculation and theorizing from this one little vague Twitter statement, which is what? A YouTuber's job, okay? Get used to it. You clicked on the video, man. So my couple of thoughts on this is, man, it is going to be weird and confusing to have Robert Pattinson's Batman that is a young, up-and-coming, starting out Batman. That is what he is. And then in this rebooted timeline, we have a young, up-and-starting Superman. I can only assume he's going to do the same thing, because if not, you would just be doing Ben Affleck's Batman again. An old, grizzled, weathered-down Batman. We've kind of already done that. So I think it would be so weird to have two parallel Batmans, even though they're in separate universes, both being a young, starting out Batman. So the only two options I see with this still working, if James Gunn is letting Matt Reeves do his own thing, is one, this Batman will be something like Tony Stark after Iron Man 3. What I mean by this is, yes, Iron Man was getting his solo movies early on in the MCU, but then after Iron Man 3, he no longer got solo movies, but Iron Man still remained a big part of the MCU. He was making all these appearances in Civil War, Spider-Man, the Avenger films, and his presence was very much felt. I think that is how James Gunn is going to handle the new Batman of the DC universe. He's not really going to get his own solo project, but he'll be showing up in a lot of the other DC characters as almost like the Nick Fury or the Wong. Just that one character to let the audiences know, hey, these movies are interconnected and you have characters jumping around. And then you just let Matt Reeves and his Batman have the solo films that people will focus in on. And if it's not that, we might have to look back on the situation where James Gunn debunked Matt Reeves' Batman joining the DC universe. When he debunked that, he was just saying that Batman is not going to join the likes of Aquaman Jason Momoa or Shazam Zachary Levi, not the old DCEU that is essentially dead after 2023, but maybe that Batman could be part of the DCU, not the DCEU, but the DCU, what James Gunn is starting out. That I actually feel would be kind of smart, and if Matt Reeves is on board and willing to do it, could be good. It would not be a lot of baggage, and I feel like that world was contained enough in Gotham that we could maybe see a Metropolis on the other side with James Gunn's new younger Superman. And honestly, because of how often we have gotten Batman rebooted, this doesn't even feel like that exciting or shocking. What I'm really concerned about is what is going to be happening to people like Harley Quinn, Peacemaker Season 2, like all this stuff. I know he's going to reboot some things, but there's also people saying that there's going to be some stuff he's going to keep, and that's just really weird if you let go of Henry Cavill. That day he makes the announcement and lets us know the new schedule, I just hope it puts to rest all these questions we have. To be honest, it's just an exciting time and a really heated time to be a DCU fan, because right now there is so much toxicity, so many people so angry with the cancellation of so many characters, and trust me, I am feeling that hurt too. I did not want to see Henry Cavill gone, but I do look on the other side and realize it's just a business decision. It's something that I felt needed to happen if they wanted to start fresh. To me, this is just reminiscent of when Robert Pattinson got announced as the new Batman, and then Ben Affleck was in the unknown if he was ever going to return again. Pattinson got so much hate for so many reasons, but then that movie came out, and one great movie can change a lot. So I am hoping the new Superman movie can be a great film and people will embrace this new Superman. But we're not really going to see whether all of this was worth it until like 6-7 years down the line after we've gotten a couple movies in this timeline out. It's honestly insane to think about, but I'm keeping an open mind. I'm hoping this all turns out for the best, because I do not want people getting fired to be for nothing. I just still can't express how wild all of this is, so this is where I leave it off to you guys. You hear the latest update that James Gunn is revealing with Batman and the DC Universe. How does it feel to be getting yet another iteration of the Caped Crusader? We had Michael Keaton, we have Robert Pattinson, Ben Affleck, now we're getting a brand new boy. That means also brand new Joker, brand new villains. It's going to be wild. Leave me your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.